De la 7 ani am ajuns la școală și când am ajuns cu problemele de vedere, îmi părea că o să fie totul închis, nu o să am prieteni, dar totul s-a ales prin puterea lui Dumnezeu.
The summer of 2012, my husband and I were fortunate to be able to take our family, ourselves and our children, to Moldova on a missions trip. And we found out about Moldova by attending Rolling Hills Community Church in Franklin. And they partner with a nonprofit organization called Justice and Mercy International. And I don't know when it actually was, but it was one particular Sunday, and my husband and I just looked at each other after watching kind of a clip or a video of this, and we just said, you know, we've got to do this. We've got to take our kids, and we got to go.
We knew that, you know, we were just a couple of ordinary people that were going to serve an extraordinary God, and a God that really loves the homeless, the helpless, the sightless, the fatherless. And so we were just going to go and be the hands and feet and the heart of God. And we didn't really know what the outcome of that would be, but when we got there, we really did connect with a couple of kids, and of course Maria was one of them.
And our goal was to work at a summer camp for children that the majority of them are orphans. We walk into camp, and all of a sudden there's this beautiful girl sitting there on a bench all by herself. She just looked so sad, so lonely, and her head was down and nobody was around her. And so I went up to her with a translator, and I said, hi, you know, I introduced myself, and she told me that her name was Maria, but that's all, you know, I could pretty much get out of her. She wouldn't look up at me, and I said, Maria, let me see your beautiful face. Let me see you. I want to see you. And she looked up at me. And it was then that I realized that she had something just terribly wrong with her eyesight. I could tell. She told me that she hadn't seen her mother in about 9 years. And she was pretty pitiful. She broke my heart, I will have to admit.
And on that last day, particularly with Maria, Lynn, and Casey, they were just like attached to Maria the whole time. I mean, hugging each other, and Maria, I think, sensed that we'd be gone after that, and you know, she didn't know what would become of us after that. So we told her that we would, you know, not forget about her.
There were a lot of tears and a lot of, I think, uncertainties in her eyes and in, you know, in our hearts and minds too. And, you know, if we could have taken her back with us, then we would have, you know, but obviously we couldn't.
And so we came back to the United States, and right away got in touch with the sponsorship coordinator for JMI and said, we want to sponsor Maria.
După ce am revenit din nou la școală, directoarea mi-a spus că eu totuși mă vor ajuta cu ochii și voi pleca în America.
In the congregation was a man and his wife and their partners at Rolling Hills as well, and he was moved to tears, just very, very compelled to help, to do whatever he could to help us help Maria with getting her eyes examined. And so he went straight to his eye doctor, and then his eye doctor was able to put him in touch with Dr. Wang, and then eventually got us in touch with Dr. Wang.
Maria's story really moved us because not only because her own disability, you know, that at the young age of 15 that she's blind, she couldn't see, but her spirit also moved us because she was the orphan in the orphanage who was willing to help other orphans with misfortune and problems. So that despite her own disability, she was willing to always be lending a helping hand to other orphans. So we thought there was a child or teenager really that we would like to help. So our foundation, Wang Foundation for Sight Restoration, took Maria Peng as our patient.
When we found out that it was a definite that they were coming like within 3 days. That's about how much notice we had that it was definitely going to happen. My husband emailed Dr. Wang, and I thought to myself, you know, he hasn't heard from us in so many months, and I wonder if he'll even remember. I wonder if he'll even respond. And I'm not kidding when I say this. Within an hour of my husband's email to him, we had a response back from Dr. Wang, showing us, telling us how excited he was to hear this news, and that he is ready and willing and just ready to go. When we get her here, let's get her in and let's get this child evaluated.
A year after eyeball 2012, that when we first heard about Maria came to the United States and walked into our Wang Vision 3D cataract and LASIK center. And I examined Maria, and I realized that her left eye was completely gone, no possibility of sight, had a retinal detachment, and no one did any surgery to restore sight. So she is no light perception in the left eye. For her right eye, she has maybe 1% or 2% of sight. She could see light. So it's called light perception vision. We sat down and I plotted out the whole sight restoration surgical plan, and involved 10 different steps. Each of the steps can have 2 possible outcomes, success or failure. And we can only get to the next step if the previous step is perfect or is successful. So I was telling one of my colleagues that day that it was like you throwing up a coin, you land it, and it has to be heads in order to be able to allow to throw the coin again. So what's the chance of throwing coins 10 times all in succession, all come out with heads? I know that that's a very small possibility for humans, but God is powerful. Got it. And guess what? It happened. God created a miracle. The surgery went beautifully. I was able to pull the iris off the lens surface without damaging the lens surface, the capsule. I was describing this to a fellow doctor. This is like if you take 2 pieces of saran wrap, stick them together, glue them together, and then you take a blade in between these 2 pieces of saran wrap and try to cut it through all the way, separate the 2 pieces of saran wrap without piercing through either of the saran wrap. It's very, very difficult, and it's nearly impossible. But impossible things happen today. After surgery, we all gathered around Maria, and I did not know, whether God will truly make her see. Even though surgery went well, but there could be intraocular structure, retina could be scarred, or optic nerve could be damaged. We could not determine all of these before surgery because we could not see the structure. So, excited by this possibility, I put my hands in front of Maria. I said, "Can you see my hand moving?" And she said, "Yes." The whole room full of people, everybody, myself, we all broke into a big celebration and laughter and joy, because we know that we're witnessing a miracle. Few of us as human beings have the experience of knowing someone in our lives who came out of darkness to light after many, many years, in this case 15 years. But even fewer of us will have the opportunity to be there at that moment when someone comes out of darkness into light.
Every day is just a trusting God to continue to bring healing to this child's eye, to strengthen it, and to bring her to a place where she can live and she can function, and ultimately that she can know that her God, who created her and made her, has an amazing plan, an amazing purpose for her life. And we're just, Steve and I and Craig and Casey are just humbled, and we're just in awe of God. And why would He choose us to be a part of this? I don't know. But we're glad He did.
Very often I get a question that people ask me, Dr. Wang, why you work so hard? Why you work on these charity cases, this research, trying to help patients? And we have helped many patients. Our foundation to date has helped patients from over 40 states and 55 countries with all site restoration surgeries performed free of charge. So why I want to do that? And that magical moment, that emotion, the ability to be part of that magical, life-transforming moment, such as Maria, open the patch, can see after 15 years, from darkness to light. I think that kind of moment is priceless. That moment is what we live for. That's a moment that reveals the true power of God. And the appreciation of the opportunity to study and go to school in this country, and the appreciation of the opportunity to experience God's power in such a rare moment of seeing someone coming out of darkness into the light is what motivates me, and that's what drives me to work hard, to continue to do what I can do to help others to see.
Bucur foarte mult că am venit aici, fiindcă datorită Domnului și datorită doctorului Wang, eu acum pot vedea, acum am posibilitatea să văd. Am posibilitatea să văd ceea ce nu am văzut niciodată. Am posibilitatea să mă simt așa cum nu mă simțeam niciodată. Mulțumesc foarte mult doctorului Wang. Pentru aceasta, eu aș vrea totuși să știu.
I see Maria. Oh, careful. You see Casey? Look at Casey.
Can you see me?
There's Maria. Look at her.